Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode of our tutorial series on blood bank management system. In the previous episode, we have successfully added the functionality to upload the profile picture for our donors. And in this episode, we will add the functionality to update our home form or dashboard whenever we make any changes on our donor module. Like whenever we add or delete donors, we need to see the rise and fall of donor count in our home form. So without further ado, let's move to our tutorial. So first of all, we'll need to open our project. So I'll go to my project folder and open our solution file, which is blood bank management system.solution, and our project will open on Visual Studio IDE, and this is our donors form. Let's open our home form, which is FRM home. So in order to update the count of donors in each blood group, we will need to create a method to count donors in our donor DAL. So let's go to the Solution Explorer and I'll open donor DAL. So just double click on donor DAL, and after update, I'll minimize update region. And after delete, we will create another region to create an method for donor count. So has region count donors for a specific blood group, and has end region, and inside this region we will create method to count the donors. So public string, it will be of string type, count donors, and it will also take an argument. So string type value, which will be blood underscore group, and here it is. And don't worry about the error, this method requires a value to be returned. So the first step is to create SQL connection for database connection. So SQL connection con is equals to new SQL connection, and we will pass connection string, which is my connection string, which we have created at the top of this class. After that, we also need to create a string variable for donor count and set its default value to 0. So string and then donors is equals to 0, and we will return this as well. So return donors, and this also removes the error in our count donors method. And after creating a donors variable and assigning its value, initial value, we need to start our try block and write the actual code to count the donors, number of donors for a specific blood group. So I'll start try block, and then catch, it will have exception ex, and we will display message if there's any error. So display error message if there's any. So message box dot show ex dot message, and last one is finally we'll close the database connection. So cls close database connection dot close. That's it. And inside the try block, we will write the actual code to count the number of donors for a specific blood group. So let's create SQL query to count donors for specific blood group. So string SQL is equals to select asterisk from tbl underscore donors. We'll use where keyword, where blood group. Let's check out the database. I'll go to Server Explorer and go to your database, which is blood bank management system, and tables and tbl underscore donors. We'll look for blood group, which is blood underscore group, where blood underscore group is equals to, we need to go with single quote, two single quote. I will add a double quote here and again a double quote, and here we will concatenate the value we passed in our method, which is blood underscore group. So here we will add or concatenate that blood group. So that's it, is equals to followed by single quote and then double quote and then plus and this value and then plus and then double quote, single quote and again double quote. So that's it. This will be the SQL query to get the donors based on a specific blood group, and then we need to create SQL command to execute the query. So SQL command to execute query. So SQL command cmd is equals to new SQL command SQL database connection. That's it. After that, we'll create SQL data adapter to get the data from database. So SQL data adapter is equals to new SQL data adapter using cmd, and then we will create a data table to hold the data temporarily. So data table to hold the data temporarily. So data table dt is equals to new data table. After that, we will pass the value from SQL data adapter to data table. So pass the value from SQL data adapter to data table. So adapter dot fill dt, this will fill all the value based on the SQL query to our data table, and then we will get the total number of donors based on the blood group. So get the total number of donors based on blood group. So donors is equals to dt dot rows dot count dot to string. So that's it. This will give the total number of donors based on the blood group. So we have successfully created a method to get the total number of donors based on the blood group. Now save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go to our home form. So this is home form, and we need to display the actual total number of donors in these panels. So let's double click on the blank space and create a form root event. And here we also need to load all the blood donors count when form is loaded. But before adding this functionality, we will create a method to count all the donors like we did for clear method. We clears the text boxes. So we will create a method. So public void all donor count, and we will count and set the value in respective text boxes or label, not text boxes, on labels. So let's open curly braces, and here we will be using our donor DAL. So let's create the object of donor DAL, because we need the method we created recently, which is donor count method, to count the number of donors. So we'll use donor DAL. Let's check the name, which is donor underscore DAL. So donor DAL is equals to new donor DAL. Don't worry about the error, just hover over the error and click on show potential fixes and select the first one, which is using blood bank management system.dal, and this will fix the error, and the error is fixed. Let's go to our method. Here we will get the donor count from database and set in respective label. So let's go to our home form design. Here we need to add the donor count here, so I'll just select this label and go to properties and check its name, which is LBL O positive count. This must be LBL O negative count. Let's check it, and O negative count. So we will set the values in these labels. So let's go to our code view, which is form home.cs, and here LBL O positive count dot text is equals to DAL dot count donors. Was this the method we created? I need to check out. Go to donor. So it is, yes, count donors, and we need to pass blood group as well. So count donors, and here we will pass O plus. This O plus must be the exact as the donors or blood group in this comment box. So let's check. I'll click on this triangle icon and click on edit items. So the keyword or blood group must be exact as this one, and all of this must be the same as this one. So don't miss any values or not misspell anything. So I'll just click on OK for now and go to code view. And first one is for O positive, and the second one will be LBL O negative count dot text is equals to DAL dot count donors O minus, sorry, it's O minus capital O, and then LBL A positive count dot text is equal to DAL dot count donors, and then it will be A plus. Similarly LBL A negative count dot text is equal to DAL dot count donors A minus, and then LBL B positive count dot text is equal to DAL dot count donors, and then it will be B plus, sorry, B then plus inside a double quote, and then LBL B negative count dot text is equal to DAL dot count donors. It will be B minus, and then LBL AB positive count dot text to DAL dot count donors. Here it will be AB plus, and the last one is LBL AB negative count dot text is equals to DAL dot AB count donors, and it will be AB negative. So that's it. We have successfully created a method to count the donors of respective blood group and set its value to respective labels in our home form. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and when form is loaded, we need to display the number of donors in respective blood groups. So we will call all donor count method. So all donor count. That's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. We have an error, but don't worry about the error. We will pass parenthesis here, and that's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and I'll click on start and check whether this functionality works or not. So let's click on start. Here is our home form, and we are successfully displaying the number of donors in each blood group. We have 3 donors in O positive, and B positive has 1 donors, but rest of the donors do not have any donors. And we will add donors by going in our donor section, and let's add for O positive Ram Guru, email ram@gmail.com, gender will be male, blood group will be, let's add for A positive, and contact will be something, address will be Nepal. Let's add by clicking on the add button. So donor added successfully, click on OK. Donor is added here, but the donor is not showing in our home form, so we will work on that now. So let's close this form and work on that. So I'll just stop this application, and in order to add that functionality of updating the dashboard whenever we update or add or delete donors from donor form, we need to create a event. We need to create an event in our home form, which is from home.cs. Just go to the home form and select the form, go to properties and click on this thunder icon or event, which is event, and here we need to search for form activated event. Let's go for activated event, which will be in top. I think here it is. So just double click on this event and we will create a form activated event. So I'll just double click on this activated event and it will create form activated event. So let's call all donor count method. So all donor count parenthesis, that's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. So this method will update dashboard whenever we make changes in our donor module. So let's check it out by starting our application. So I'll just click on start button and let's go to donors. We have 1 donor here, so let's add another donor. I'll go to donor form and add another donor, Ajit Srestha, sorry, this is last name, Ctrl X, last name, email ajit@gmail.com, gender will be male, blood group I will guess 1, so I'll add it as AB positive, and contact will be something and address will be Nepal, and I'll add by clicking on add button. So new donor added successfully. I'll close this, and here it is updated successfully and the donor is showing successfully. I will again try to decrease the donors in O positive, so I'll just go to donors and search for O positive. So the first one also has O positive and second one, or for now let's select A positive, which is Ram Gurung, we have added recently, which is of A positive blood group. So I'll just select the Ram and delete it by clicking on delete button. Donor deleted successfully, it was A positive and donor is gone from A positive. So this is, guys, we have successfully added the functionality to update the dashboard or update form whenever we make changes in our another form, which is donor. So this is, guys. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if you have any confusion related to this video, then don't forget to comment. I'll reply as soon as possible. And in the next episode we will add a functionality to search donor in our donor form and on our home form as well. So till then, see you soon. Bye bye.